Captain Marcus Webb stood in the center of the Qa'lathi throne room. His hands were empty. His uniform was torn. Blood dripped from a cut above his eye. Around him, 300 alien warriors watched in complete silence. The Qa'lathi weren't like other species. They were 7 feet tall. Their skin was silver blue, covered in glowing patterns. 4 eyes, 2 mouths, massive shoulders. And they were known across 17 star systems as the most honorable warriors in the galaxy. Marcus had crashed on their world 3 days ago. His ship was destroyed. His crew was dead. He was alone. And now he stood before their warlord. The warlord's name was Kel'vora. She was 8 feet tall, covered in battle scars, and her eyes glowed like burning stars. In her massive hand, she held something Marcus didn't expect. A ceremonial blade. It was beautiful, ancient, priceless. The entire room seemed to hold its breath. Kel'vora spoke. Her voice was deep, layered, almost musical. "Human, you have fought beside us. You have bled with us. You have saved 17 of my warriors from death." Marcus said nothing. His heart pounded. "The herd offers you this blade," Kel'vora continued. "It is our highest honor. Accept it and you become one of us. You will have a home, a family, a purpose." The warriors around him began a low, rhythmic hum. It was a sound of respect, of ceremony. Marcus looked at the blade. Then he looked at Kel'vora. And he said 2 words that changed everything. "Suit yourself." The humming stopped. The room went silent. Kel'vora's eyes narrowed. "What did you say?" Marcus stood straighter. Blood still dripping. Body still shaking. "I said, suit yourself. I don't want your blade." The silence was deafening. 300 warriors stared. Kel'vora's 4 eyes blazed with something Marcus couldn't read. Anger, shock, confusion. "You refuse." Marcus nodded. "I refuse." Kel'vora lowered the blade slowly. Her voice dropped to a whisper. "In 3,000 years, no one has ever refused the herd." Marcus didn't look away. "Then I guess I'm the first." The tension in the room was suffocating. And then, Kel'vora did something no one expected. She smiled. Not a human smile. A Qa'lathi smile. Sharp, dangerous, intrigued. "Tell me, human," she said quietly, "why?" Marcus took a breath. "Because you don't know what you're offering me." Kel'vora tilted her head. "Explain." And so Marcus began to speak. Marcus looked around the throne room. At the warriors. At the glowing patterns on the walls. At the massive windows showing the purple sky of Qa'lathi. "You think you know humans," Marcus said, "but you don't." Kel'vora's eyes narrowed. "We have studied your species. We know your history, your wars, your weaknesses." Marcus shook his head. "You know what we let you see." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Kel'vora raised a hand. Silence returned. "Speak," she commanded. Marcus gestured to the blade. "That weapon represents your honor, your culture, your way of life." "Yes, but if I take it, I'm accepting something I can't give back." Kel'vora stepped closer. "You speak in riddles." Marcus met her gaze. 3 days ago my ship crashed. You found me. You could have killed me. Instead, you let me fight beside you when the Skrull attacked. The Skrull, a vicious, insectoid species that raided border worlds. They had attacked the Qa'lathi settlement without warning. Marcus had fought alongside the warriors. He'd used a broken plasma rifle and a piece of ship hull as a shield. He'd saved lives. And now the Qa'lathi wanted to reward him. "You fought well," Kel'vora said. "You earned the blade." "No," Marcus replied. "I survived, that's different." Kel'vora's expression shifted. "You do not understand honor." Marcus almost laughed. "I understand it better than you think." He took a step forward. "The Qa'lathi are warriors. You live by a code, strength, loyalty, sacrifice." "Yes, but that code only works because everyone follows it, everyone believes in it, everyone trusts it." Kel'vora said nothing. Marcus continued. Humans don't have that. We don't have one code. We have thousands, millions. Every human believes something different. The warriors shifted uncomfortably. Marcus pressed on. Some humans believe in honor. Some believe in survival. Some believe in profit. Some believe in chaos. He gestured to himself. You want me to accept your blade, to join your herd, to follow your code? Yes, but you don't know which kind of human I am. Silence. Kel'vora studied him. What kind are you? Marcus's jaw tightened. The kind that doesn't deserve your honor. The words hung in the air. Kel'vora's 4 eyes flickered. Explain. Marcus looked down. Before my ship crashed, I was running. From what? From myself. Kel'vora waited. Marcus took a breath. I was a soldier, Earth Defense Corps. I fought in the border wars. The Qa'lathi knew the border wars. Humanity's brutal conflict with the Turksian coalition. Millions dead. Entire colonies destroyed. I was good at it, Marcus said quietly. Too good. He looked up. I followed orders, I did what I was told, and I killed a lot of people. Kel'vora's expression didn't change. War demands sacrifice. Yeah, Marcus said bitterly, that's what they told me. He clenched his fists. They told me I was protecting humanity, that I was a hero. You were not. Marcus's voice cracked. I was a weapon, and when the war ended, they didn't need me anymore. Kel'vora tilted her head. So you ran. I stole a ship, forged new papers, started running supplies on the outer rim. He laughed darkly. I thought I could outrun what I'd done, pretend I was someone else. And then you crashed here. Yeah. Kel'vora stepped even closer. She towered over him. You think this makes you unworthy? Marcus met her gaze. I know it does. Kel'vora was silent for a long moment. Then she spoke. You saved 17 of my warriors. You fought without hesitation. You bled beside us. That doesn't erase what I've done. No, Kel'vora agreed, it does not. She held up the blade again. But it shows who you are now. Marcus shook his head. You don't understand. If I take that blade, I'm lying to you. I'm pretending to be someone I'm not. Kel'vora's eyes blazed. Or perhaps you are pretending now. Marcus froze. What? Kel'vora leaned down. Her voice was low, dangerous. You stand here, broken, bleeding, refusing honor, but I see something else. What? I see a human who is terrified of being worthy. The words hit Marcus like a physical blow. Kel'vora continued. You think refusing the blade makes you humble, noble. She bared her teeth. But it is cowardice. Marcus's hands shook. I'm trying to do the right thing. No, Kel'vora said, you are trying to punish yourself. Silence. And I will not allow it, Aura stepped back. She raised the blade high. Warriors of the herd, she called out. The room erupted in a thunderous response. Hear me. Silence fell again. This human refuses our honor. He claims he is unworthy. Murmurs spread through the crowd. Some angry, some confused. Kel'vora's voice cut through them all. He believes his past defines him. He believes his sins cannot be forgiven. She turned to Marcus. But he does not understand the Qa'lathi way. Marcus tensed. We do not offer honor lightly, Kel'vora said. We do not give the blade to those who are perfect. She gestured to the warriors around her. Every warrior here has failed. Every warrior here has killed. Every warrior here carries scars that will never heal. The warriors began the low humming again. A sound of agreement. Kel'vora continued. We offer the blade not because you are perfect. We offer it because you chose to fight when you could have run. Marcus's throat tightened. I ran before. Yes, and then you stopped. Kel'vora lowered the blade. 3 days ago, the Skrull attacked. You were injured, weak, you could have hidden. Marcus remembered. The screaming. The plasma fire. The scrowl pouring through the settlement like a living nightmare. But you did not hide, Kel'vora said. You picked up a weapon, you stood beside warriors you did not know, you saved lives. I was just... You were terrified, Kel'vora interrupted. I saw it in your eyes. Marcus said nothing. And yet you fought anyway. Kel'vora's voice softened slightly. That is honor, human, not the absence of fear, not the absence of sin, but the choice to fight when it would be easier to surrender. Marcus felt something breaking inside him. You don't know what I've done. No, Kel'vora agreed, but I know what you did 3 days ago. She held out the blade again. Take it. Marcus stared at the weapon. It was beautiful. Ancient. Forged from some metal he didn't recognize. The handle was wrapped in leather from a creature he'd never seen. And it represented everything he thought he'd lost. I can't, Marcus whispered. Kel'vora's eyes flashed. Why? Because, Marcus struggled to find the words, because if I take it, I have to believe I deserve it. And you do not believe this. No. Kel'vora was quiet for a moment. Then she did something unexpected. She lowered the blade. And she knelt. The entire room gasped. A warlord. Kneeling. Before a human. What are you doing? Marcus whispered. Kel'vora looked up at him. I am showing you something. What? Humility. Marcus's heart pounded. Kel'vora spoke clearly, so every warrior could hear. 40 years ago, I was like you. Silence. I was a young warrior, proud, strong, eager to prove myself. Her 4 eyes seemed to look into the past. My herd was attacked by the Virin, a species we thought were allies. Marcus listened. They betrayed us, slaughtered our young, burned our homes. Kel'vora's voice hardened. I fought, I killed, and when the battle was over, I stood among the bodies of my enemies. She paused, but also among the bodies of my family. Marcus's breath caught. My mate, my children, my parents, all dead. Kel'vora's hands trembled slightly. And I realized something. What? That I had failed them. I was supposed to protect them, and I was not strong enough. Tears welled in Marcus's eyes. For years I believed I was unworthy, Kel'vora continued. I believed I did not deserve to lead, to fight, to live. She stood slowly. But my warlord, the one who came before me, she saw something I did not. What? That my pain did not make me weak, it made me stronger. Kel'vora held the blade between them. She offered me this blade, and I refused just like you. Marcus stared. What did she do? Kel'vora smiled that sharp, dangerous smile. She told me that honor is not about being perfect, it is about choosing to be better. She pressed the blade into Marcus's hands. So I am telling you the same thing, human. Marcus felt the weight of the weapon. The history. The responsibility. I don't know if I can be better, he whispered. Neither did I, Kel'vora said, but I chose to try. Marcus looked up at her. And if I fail? Kel'vora's eyes blazed. Then you fail with honor. Marcus's fingers closed around the blade. He felt something shift inside him. Not forgiveness. Not redemption. But possibility. Okay, he said quietly. Okay. Marcus lifted the blade. I accept. The throne room erupted. Warriors roared. They slammed their fists against their chests. The sound was deafening. Kel'vora placed a massive hand on Marcus's shoulder. Welcome to the herd, Marcus Webb. Marcus nodded. But he had no idea what he'd just agreed to. The ceremony lasted for hours. Marcus was given new armor. Qa'lathi armor, forged specifically for his human frame. It was lighter than it looked. Stronger than anything Earth had ever made. And it bore the mark of the herd, a symbol that looked like a rising sun merged with a clenched fist. Warriors approached him one by one. They touched their foreheads to his. A sign of respect. Of acceptance. Marcus felt overwhelmed. When it was finally over, Kel'vora led him to a private chamber. It was simple. Stone walls, a sleeping platform, a window overlooking the settlement. Rest, Kel'vora said. Tomorrow your training begins. Marcus turned to her. Training? You are part of the herd now. You must learn our ways. I thought I already proved myself. Kel'vora's expression darkened. You proved you are worthy of the blade. Now you must prove you are worthy of keeping it. Marcus frowned. What does that mean? Kel'vora was silent for a moment. Then she spoke. There is something you must know, Marcus Webb. What? The herd did not offer you the blade only because you saved my warriors. Marcus's stomach dropped. Then why? Kel'vora looked out the window. Because we need you. Need me for what? Kel'vora turned back to him. The Skrull attack 3 days ago was not random. Marcus tensed. What do you mean? They were looking for something. What? Kel'vora hesitated. Then she reached into her armor and pulled out a small device. It was smooth, metallic, covered in symbols Marcus didn't recognize. This, Kel'vora said. Marcus stared at it. What is it? We do not know. It was found in the ruins of an ancient city, deep beneath the surface of this world. She held it up to the light. But the Skrull want it badly. Marcus took a step closer. Why? Because it is a key. A key to what? Kel'vora's eyes met his. To something humanity should have never found. Marcus's blood ran cold. Humanity. Kel'vora nodded slowly. This device is not Qa'lathi. It is not Skrull. It is not from any species we know. She paused. It is human. Marcus felt like the floor had dropped out from under him. That's impossible. Humans have only been in space for 200 years. Yes, Kel'vora said, and yet this device is over 50,000 years old. Silence. Marcus's mind raced. That can't be right. Our scientists have tested it extensively. The dating is accurate. Marcus grabbed the device. It was warm to the touch. Almost alive. If this is human, then that means... It means your species is far older than you know, Kel'vora finished. Marcus stared at the symbols. They were familiar. Not modern human writing. But something deeper. Something primal. What does it open? Marcus asked. Kel'vora's expression was grim. We believe it opens a vault, somewhere on this world. A vault containing what? We do not know, but the legends speak of a weapon. Marcus's hands trembled. What kind of weapon? Kel'vora took the device back. The kind that could end civilizations. Marcus felt sick. And the Skrull want it. Yes, they attacked us to get this key. They failed, but they will return. Marcus looked out the window. The settlement was peaceful now. But he could see scorch marks on the buildings. Signs of the recent battle. How many will they bring next time? Kel'vora's voice was heavy. Thousands. Marcus turned back to her. And you think I can help? Yes. Why? Kel'vora stepped closer. Because you are human, and if this device responds to anyone, it will respond to you. Marcus stared at the key. You want me to open the vault? We need to know what is inside before the Skrull find it. Marcus shook his head. This is insane. Yes. You're asking me to unlock something that could destroy everything. I am asking you to help us protect it. Marcus laughed bitterly. I can't even protect myself. Kel'vora placed a hand on his shoulder. Marcus Webb, you accepted the blade. You are part of the herd now. So the herd does not run. We face what must be faced. Marcus met her eyes. Even if it kills us. Especially then. Marcus was quiet for a long time. Then he spoke. When do we leave? Kel'vora's eyes flashed with approval. At dawn, Marcus didn't sleep. He sat by the window, staring at the stars. His mind was a storm. 50,000 years. Humans in space 50,000 years ago. It was impossible. Earth's history only went back 10,000 years. Before that, nothing but ice and scattered tribes. And yet, he looked at the blade resting beside him. The Qa'lathi had no reason to lie. They were warriors, not politicians. If they said the device was human, it was human. But what did that mean? Were there other humans out here? Lost colonies? Forgotten empires? Marcus's thoughts were interrupted by a knock. He stood, grabbed the blade. "Come in." The door opened. A young Qa'lathi warrior entered. She was smaller than the others, maybe 6 feet tall. Her glowing patterns were pale blue, almost white. "Forgive the intrusion," she said. Her voice was softer than Kel'vora's. "It's fine, who are you?" "My name is Shira. I was one of the warriors you saved." Marcus remembered. During the Skrull attack, this warrior had been pinned beneath debris. A Skrull soldier had been advancing on her. Marcus had thrown a piece of metal, distracting it long enough for her to break free. "I remember," Marcus said. Shira stepped inside. "I came to thank you." "You already did, at the ceremony." "No," Shira said. "I came to truly thank you." She held out her hand. In it was a small crystal. It glowed faintly. "What is this?" "A memory stone," Shira said. "It contains a recording of my family." Marcus didn't take it. "Why are you giving this to me?" Shira's eyes shimmered. "Because you gave me the chance to see them again." Marcus's throat tightened. "I don't understand." Shira sat down. "Before you came, I believed I would die in that battle. The Skrull had us surrounded. We were outnumbered, outgunned." She looked at the crystal. "I made peace with death. I thought of my family, my mate, my children." Marcus sat beside her. "And then you showed up. Yes, a human, a stranger, with no reason to help us." She smiled. "But you fought anyway." Marcus looked away. "I told Kel'vora I'm not a hero." "No," Shira agreed, "you are not." Marcus glanced at her. "But you are something better," she continued. "What?" "You are real." Marcus frowned. Shira explained. "Heroes are legends, stories, myths. They are perfect, untouchable." She held up the crystal. "But you are flawed, broken, scared." She met his eyes. "And yet you still fight. That is more powerful than any legend." Marcus felt emotion rising in his chest. "I don't know if I can do what Kel'vora is asking." "Neither do I," Shira said honestly. "Then why?" "But I know you will try, and that is enough." She placed the crystal in his hand. "Keep this. When you doubt yourself, look at it. Remember that you gave me the chance to go home." Marcus stared at the crystal. Inside, he could see faint images. A family. Smiling. Laughing. Alive. "Thank you," Marcus whispered. Shira stood. "No, Marcus Webb, thank you." She left. Marcus sat alone, holding the crystal. And for the first time in years, he felt something other than guilt. He felt purpose. Dawn came quickly. Kel'vora gathered a team of 20 warriors, including Shira. They equipped themselves with weapons, supplies, and scanning equipment. Marcus wore his new armor. It felt strange, but also right. "The vault is located in the deep wastes," Kel'vora explained, "a region far from any settlement." "Why there?" "Because it is the most dangerous place on this world." Marcus sighed. "Of course it is." They traveled in armored transports. The landscape changed quickly. From purple forests to barren rock. From rock to crystalline deserts. And finally to the deep wastes. It was unlike anything Marcus had ever seen. The ground was cracked and black. Steam rose from fissures. The sky was dark red, almost blood-colored. And in the distance, massive structures jutted from the earth. They looked ancient, alien, but also familiar. There, Kel'vora said, pointing. Marcus followed her gaze. A massive door, carved into the side of a cliff, covered in the same symbols as the key. That's it. Yes. They approached carefully. The door was enormous. 50 feet tall, 100 feet wide, and completely seamless. No hinges, no handles, nothing, just smooth stone and symbols. How do we open it? Marcus asked. Kel'vora handed him the key. You tell us. Marcus took the device. He approached the door. His heart pounded. The symbols glowed faintly as he got closer. He reached out, touched the door, and everything changed. The symbols blazed with light. The ground shook, and a voice filled his mind. Not a sound, a presence, ancient, powerful, terrifying. Who dares? Marcus stumbled back. The warriors raised their weapons. What was that? Shira shouted. Marcus gasped for air. It's alive, the door is alive. Kel'vora stepped beside him. What did it say? It asked who dares to enter. And Marcus looked at the key in his hand. Then at the door. I think it wants an answer. Marcus stepped forward again. His legs shook, but he forced himself to move. The voice returned. Who dares disturb the sleepers? Marcus spoke out loud. My name is Marcus Webb, I'm human. Silence. Then, human, it has been long. Marcus's blood ran cold. You know humans. We created you. The warriors behind him gasped. Kel'vora's eyes went wide. Marcus's mind reeled. What? 50,000 CYCLES ago, we seeded your world. We gave you life. We gave you potential. Marcus felt like he was falling. You're saying humans were made. All species were made, by the architects. The ground shook again. The door began to open. Slowly, grinding stone against stone. Light poured out from inside. Not white light, not yellow, but a deep pulsing blue. We have waited for one of you to return. Marcus took a step inside. The warriors followed, weapons ready. The interior was massive, a cathedral of stone and crystal. And in the center, a figure, not human, not Qa'lathi, not anything Marcus had ever seen. It was tall, maybe 15 feet, made of something that looked like liquid metal. Its form constantly shifted, never quite solid, never quite real. I am the last, the figure said. Its voice was the same one in Marcus's mind. The last what? Marcus asked. The last architect. It moved closer. The warriors tensed, but Kel'vora raised a hand. Hold. The architect stopped. You bring others, good, they will witness. Witness what? Marcus demanded. The truth. The architect gestured. The walls of the chamber lit up. Images appeared. Not projected, but somehow real. Marcus saw worlds. Hundreds of them. Thousands. All different. All alive. We were the first, the architect said. The first to emerge, the first to understand, the first to transcend. The images shifted, showed beings working together. Building, creating. We could have ruled the galaxy, but we chose differently. What did you choose? Kel'vora asked. To give life, to seed WRLDS, to create species that would grow, evolve, and find their own paths. The images showed the architects spreading across space, terraforming planets, engineering life. Humans, Qa'lathi, SKRAL, VRYNN, TRXINS, all of you. Marcus felt numb. You made all of us. Yes, and we gave you one gift. What gift? Choice. The images shifted again, showed civilizations rising, and falling. Wars, peace, progress, destruction. We did not make you perfect, we made you free. The architect's form rippled. But freedom is dangerous. Marcus saw what came next. The images showed something dark. A force, spreading across the galaxy like a plague. Consuming worlds. Destroying everything. What is that? Kel'vora demanded. The swarm. Marcus's blood turned to ice. We created life, but others created death. The architect turned to face them fully. The swarm came from beyond, from the dark between galaxies. It does not reason, it does not negotiate, it consumes. The images showed the architects fighting. And losing. We were powerful, but we were few, and the swarm was endless. Marcus watched as world after world fell. So we made a choice. What choice? Marcus whispered. We sealed ourselves away, we built vaults across the galaxy, and we left weapons behind. The architect gestured to the chamber. This is one of those vaults. Kel'vora stepped forward. What kind of weapon? The architect was silent for a moment. Then it spoke. A weapon that can destroy entire star, SYSDEMS. A weapon that can rip apart the fabric of space itself. Marcus's hands shook. Why would you create something like that? Because the swarm cannot be defeated by conventional means. It adapts. It evolves, it learns. The architect's form pulsed. Only total annihilation can stop it. Marcus felt sick. You want us to use this weapon? No. Everyone froze. What? Kel'vora said. We do not want you to use it, we want you to choose. The architect's voice grew softer. The swarm is returning. We have detected its presence at the edge of this galaxy. Marcus's stomach dropped. How long do we have? 50 cycles, perhaps less. 50 cycles. 50 years. Not long enough. The weapon could stop it, Kel'vora asked. Yes, but at a cost. What cost? The architect's form shimmered. To activate the weapon, a species must sacrifice itself. Silence. Meaning, Shira asked quietly. Meaning one species must willingly give up their existence, their entire race, erased from reality. Marcus felt like he'd been punched. That's genocide. Yes. Then we can't use it. That is your choice to make. The architect began to fade. We have given you the truth. We have given you the weapon. Now you must decide. Wait, Marcus shouted. But the architect was gone. And in its place, a pedestal with a weapon. It looked like a sphere. Small, simple, but Marcus could feel the power radiating from it. Kel'vora approached slowly. This is it. Yes, Marcus said. She reached out, touched it. Nothing happened. She looked at Marcus. It will only respond to you. Marcus knew she was right. He could feel it. The weapon was calling to him. What do we do? Shira asked. Kel'vora turned to the group. We take it, we study it, and we prepare. For what? For the swarm. They returned to the settlement at nightfall. The weapon was secured. But Marcus couldn't stop thinking about it. Sacrifice an entire species. To save all the others. It was an impossible choice. Kel'vora called a council. All the clan leaders gathered. Marcus was asked to attend. He sat in the corner, silent. Kel'vora explained everything. The architects, the swarm, the weapon. The room erupted. Arguments, shouting, fear. We should destroy it, one leader roared. We cannot, another argued. The swarm will come whether we have the weapon or not. Then we fight without it. And we all die. Kel'vora slammed her fist on the table. Silence fell. Enough. She stood. This is not just our decision to make. What do you mean? A leader asked. This concerns all species. Humans, Qa'lathi, Skrull, Virin, Turksians, everyone. She looked at Marcus. We must call a gathering, a council of all known species. Marcus's eyes widened. That's never been done before. No, Kel'vora agreed, but it must be done now. Another leader spoke up. And what if they decide to use the weapon? What if they choose to sacrifice us? The room went cold. Kel'vora's voice was hard. Then we will face that moment when it comes. You would allow our entire species to be erased. I would allow us to choose our fate, Kel'vora said, with honor. She turned to Marcus. But first, we need humanity at the table. Marcus stood. I'm just one person. You are the only human who has seen the truth. That doesn't give me authority. Kel'vora stepped closer. Then earn it. The next 3 weeks were chaos. Messages were sent across the galaxy. To Earth, to the Qa'lathi homeworld, to every major civilization. Some responded with interest, others with suspicion. The Skrull attacked twice more, trying to steal the weapon. Both times they were repelled, but casualties mounted. Marcus fought alongside the warriors. His skills improved. His resolve hardened. And slowly, he began to understand what the architect had meant. Choice. Every day, he chose to fight. Every day, he chose to protect. Every day, he chose to be better than he was. Finally, the responses came. Earth agreed to send representatives. So did the Turksian coalition. The Virin collective. Even the Skrull, surprisingly. They would all meet on neutral ground. A station called Unity Point. Built centuries ago for peace talks that never happened. Kel'vora selected a delegation. Herself, Shira, 3 other warriors. And Marcus. Why me? Marcus asked. Because you are the bridge, Kel'vora said, between humanity and the rest of us. I'm not qualified for this. Neither am I, Kel'vora admitted, but we will do it anyway. They departed 2 days later. The journey to Unity Point took a week. Marcus spent most of it staring at the stars, thinking about what was coming. Shira found him one night. You are troubled. Marcus nodded. I keep thinking about the choice. Which choice? If it came down to it, if humanity had to be sacrificed to save everyone else. He trailed off. Shira sat beside him. Would you agree to it? Marcus was quiet for a long time. I don't know. That is honest. Is it enough? Shira looked out at the stars. My people have a saying. Honor is not found in certainty. It is found in the struggle between what we want and what we know is right. Marcus glanced at her. And what if what's right is impossible to accept? Then we struggle until we can accept it, or until we find another way. Marcus smiled slightly. You make it sound simple. It is not simple, Shira said. It is just necessary. They sat in silence for a while. Then Shira spoke again. You asked me once why I thanked you. Yeah. I will tell you now. It was not just because you saved my life. Then why? Because you showed me that even broken things can be valuable. Marcus looked at her. What do you mean? Shira held up her arm. Marcus saw scars. Old ones. I was injured in battle years ago. My arm was shattered. The healers said I would never fight again. She flexed her fingers. But I refused to accept that. I trained, I adapted. I learned to fight with my weakness. She met his eyes. You are like that arm, Marcus Webb. Broken, but still strong, still useful, still worthy. Marcus felt tears threatening. I don't feel worthy. None of us do, Shira said softly, but we fight anyway. Unity Point was massive. A station the size of a small moon. Abandoned for decades. But now it was alive again. Ships from every major species docked. Hundreds of delegates. Thousands of guards. The tension was suffocating. Kel'vora led the Qa'lathi delegation through the main hall. Marcus walked beside her. He saw humans. His people. They looked at him strangely. At his Qa'lathi armor. At the blade on his hip. One of them approached. An older woman in an Earth Defense Corps uniform. Admiral Chen. Captain Webb. Marcus stiffened. Admiral. Chen's eyes narrowed. We thought you were dead. You stole a ship, deserted. I did. And now you return, wearing alien armor, claiming the galaxy is in danger. Marcus met her gaze. It is. Chen studied him. You have a lot of explaining to do. I know. She gestured to the conference chamber. Then let's begin. The conference chamber was circular. A massive table in the center. Delegates from 12 species sat around it. Each one suspicious of the others. Kel'vora stood. She presented the evidence. The architect's message. The scans of the swarm's approach. The weapon. When she finished, the room exploded. This is a trick. The Qa'lathi want to control us. The weapon doesn't exist. We should destroy it. We should use it. Arguments raged. Marcus watched. Waited. Then he stood. Enough. Silence fell. Admiral Chen looked at him. Captain Webb, you have something to say. Marcus nodded. Yes. He walked to the center of the room. I know what you're all thinking. This is too big, too impossible, too convenient. Murmurs of agreement. But I've seen the vault, I've spoken to the architect, and I've held the weapon. He looked around the table. It's real, all of it. A Turksian delegate stood. And you expect us to trust you, a deserter. Marcus flinched. But he didn't back down. No, I don't expect you to trust me. Then why should we listen? Because I'm not asking you to trust me, Marcus said. I'm asking you to trust each other. The room went quiet. Marcus continued. The architect told me something. They said they gave us a gift, choice. He gestured to the weapon, displayed on a holographic screen. This weapon represents the ultimate choice. Sacrifice one species to save all the others. And you think we should use it? A Viren delegate asked. No, Marcus said firmly. Everyone stared. I think we should reject it. Kel'vora's eyes widened. Marcus. Hear me out, Marcus interrupted. He looked at each delegate. The architect said the weapon was their answer to the swarm, but it was an answer born of desperation, of fear. He clenched his fists. They were dying, they had no other choice. And neither do we, someone shouted. Yes, we do, Marcus said. We have 50 years. That's not enough time. It is if we work together. Marcus's voice grew stronger. For thousands of years, our species have fought each other. We've competed, we've killed, we've destroyed. He paused. But now we have a common enemy, something that doesn't care about our differences, something that will destroy all of us equally. He looked at Kel'vora. The Qa'lathi taught me something. They taught me that honor isn't about being perfect. It's about choosing to be better. He turned back to the delegates. So I'm asking all of you to make that choice, not to sacrifice a species, but to unite them. Silence. You're suggesting an alliance, Admiral Chen said slowly. I'm suggesting more than that, Marcus replied. I'm suggesting we become something new, something the galaxy has never seen. And what is that? Marcus smiled. A family. The room erupted again. But this time it was different. Not just arguments, but discussion, debate, possibility. Hours passed. The delegates talked, argued, negotiated, and finally, they voted. Unanimous. The weapon would be kept, but never used, unless every other option was exhausted. In the meantime, all species would contribute resources. Technology, knowledge, warriors, to build a defense against the swarm. Together, When the vote was announced, Marcus felt something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. Later that night, Kel'vora found him. "You surprised me, Marcus Webb." Marcus looked up. "How?" "I thought you would argue for humanity, for your species to be protected." Marcus shook his head. "I argued for all of us." Kel'vora sat beside him. "You have become a true member of the herd." Marcus smiled. "I still don't know if I deserve that blade." "Neither do I," Kel'vora admitted. Marcus laughed. "Seriously? Honor is not something you earn once," Kel'vora said. "It is something you earn every day." She placed a hand on his shoulder. "You earned it today." Marcus felt warmth in his chest. "Thank you." "No, Marcus, thank you." They sat in silence for a moment. Then Kel'vora spoke. "What will you do now?" Marcus thought about it. "I'll go back to Earth, help coordinate the defense efforts." "And after?" "After," Marcus looked at the stars. "After, I'll keep choosing to be better." Kel'vora stood. "Then you will always have a place with the herd." She left. Marcus sat alone. He pulled out the memory crystal Shira had given him. Watched the images of her family. Smiling. Laughing. Alive. And he made a promise. Not to the architect. Not to the herd. Not to humanity. But to himself. He would fight. He would protect. He would choose to be worthy. Every single day, 3 months later, Marcus stood on Earth. He'd never thought he'd see it again. But here he was, in front of the Global Defense Council, wearing his Qa'lathi armor, carrying his blade, and presenting a plan to unite humanity's fractured colonies, to share technology with other species, to build ships that could fight the swarm. It wasn't easy. Politicians argued. Corporations resisted. Old grudges resurfaced. But slowly, progress was made. Training programs were established. Joint research facilities were built. And for the first time in human history, Earth looked beyond its own interests. Marcus led by example. He trained soldiers. He negotiated with alien delegates. He shared what he'd learned from the Qa'lathi. And people listened. Not because he was perfect, but because he was honest. He didn't hide his past. He didn't pretend to be a hero. He just showed up, every day, and chose to be better. 1 year after the conference, Marcus received a message. From Kel'vora. "The herd requests your presence. We have found something." Marcus boarded a ship immediately. When he arrived at Qa'lathi, Kel'vora was waiting. "What did you find?" She led him to the research facility. Inside, scientists were studying the weapon. "We cannot activate it," one scientist explained. "The architect's safeguards are too complex." "That's good, right?" Marcus asked. "Yes, but we discovered something else." The scientist brought up a hologram. It showed the weapon's internal structure. "There is a second function." Marcus's heart raced. "What kind of function?" "Communication." Marcus stared. "The weapon can send a signal across the galaxy to other vaults." "Other vaults," Marcus repeated. "Yes, we believe there are dozens, perhaps hundreds." Kel'vora stepped forward. "Each one contains an architect in stasis." Marcus's mind reeled. "So they're not dead." "No, they are waiting." "For what?" "For someone to prove that the younger species are ready." Marcus looked at the weapon. "Ready for what?" Kel'vora's eyes glowed. "To inherit the galaxy." Marcus felt a chill. "Are we ready?" Kel'vora smiled. "We have 50 years to find out." Marcus returned to his quarters that night. He sat by the window, looking at the stars, thinking about everything that had happened. A year ago, he was running. Broken, lost, convinced he was unworthy of redemption. And now he was part of something bigger. Not just the herd, but a coalition, a family, imperfect, struggling, but trying. He pulled out Shira's memory crystal one last time. Watched the images, and he smiled. "I'm trying," he whispered. "Every day I'm trying." The crystal glowed softly, as if in response. Marcus stood. He had work to do, ships to build, warriors to train, a galaxy to protect. But for the first time in years, he wasn't afraid. Because he understood now. Honor wasn't about being perfect. It wasn't about erasing the past. It was about choosing, every single day, to be better than you were yesterday. To fight when it would be easier to run. To hope when it would be easier to despair. To believe in something bigger than yourself. Marcus Webb picked up his blade. The blade of the herd. And he walked out into the light. Ready for whatever came next. The end. If you want to see what happens next, hit that subscribe button. More stories like this are coming. Stories about humans facing impossible odds. About aliens learning what humanity really means. About the choices that define